Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. I didn't have an intro for everybody tonight. I know that I saw some people talking in the chat, but welcome to the show, Jordan. You're
Oh,
little different intro today, but I'm glad you were able to make it.
well, first of all, if I'd known you were going to use that picture that way, I might not have sent you a picture for the promo. Oh my God, that was perfect though. I think I was actually doing that on the weekend of OAX. I think I was just kind of gritting my teeth and part of me wishing I was there. So yeah, that's I think you hit the nail on the head with that one there.
That was the idea. I wanted to make sure that it showed how the FOMO was real for OAX.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And,
we
and,
missed
and
you.
how do you pronounce FOMOAX? FOMOAX?
FOMOAX, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. It just it rolls off the tongue. FOMOAX. So yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So it works. It definitely
Okay.
works.
I'm definitely going to use it, but I just want to make sure I'm saying it rightly. Right.
I think
FOMO.
you weren't the only one with it. It's a condition that many art collectors had that weren't in Orlando that weekend. So you weren't the only one.
I think, and I like how you went with that, because when you and I were talking about doing a show, I said I sent you the idea, let's do an OAX Envy show. And sometimes that can be, there can be some connotations with envy. So maybe you did the right choice of going with FOMO instead. So
there you go. But yeah, so everybody knows we are doing a art drop tonight. We're going to talk a little bit before we get started with that. I saw somebody had a question in the chat about how these things are done. It isn't an auction format. Basically, we're going to show 20 pieces of art tonight, and on the slide it's going to show you the price, and Jordan will talk a bit about it, and you'll have the opportunity to claim it if you want, and then we'll review everything when it's done. People sometimes will throw out offers, so that's how the format of these art drops go. I haven't done many one-off art drops before. I think the last one I did was with Michael Finn, but these are always fun, engaging in a different way.
Well, to lead up to that, so and for everybody's benefit, I had reached out to Bill a couple weeks back, and part of the afterglow of OAX, I realized that people have saved money, spent money there as they should, and look forward to it. So I reached out to Bill and said, why don't we just do a value priced dueling dealer show? I said, I'm game for that, and that way, let's let the good times keep rolling. And just from a timing standpoint, Bill and I agreed it probably would be hard to line up somebody to go head to head with. So that's when Bill said, "Why don't we just do a drop and chat and do a drop?" So this is actually new to me. I'm kind of feeling a little bit out of my comfort zone here. I'm so used to gearing up with the battle gloves on, but hopefully we'll just have a casual chat, and I'll throw some pages up, and hopefully it'll be some value for some people. And I end off with a couple of grails to make it even out the scales, and I feel the grails are still very achievable and attainable, and hopefully somebody adds to their collection, basically.
That is very true. I did, because I billed it as 1,000 and under show, but it really anything goes with lots 19 and 20. So
yeah, the last two.
Exactly.
So one and again, title pages, first appearance pages, a couple of birth pages, and then some covers as well, all value priced, and hopefully it goes well with everybody.
Exactly. So what's that banner you got behind you?
So it's I'm killing two birds with one stone, because the last couple of times I've done a show from home, my art piece just glares too much. So I wanted to cover it up with something, and very coincidentally, I got this banner from Sean Gordon Murphy at EmeraldCon 2 years ago, and I always use it for when I have an art show here in Hawaii. I'll display this, kind of just draw the attention of people. But what a coincidence that he was one of the mainstays of OAX, and he signed it, he drew it for me, he drew on it for me. Katana is on here as well, and Jeff, their manager, was so engaging. So that's just that what my experience I had with the three of them at EmeraldCon, I know is what permeated the whole OAX experience, and that was part of my FOMOAX, is that just missing out on that. I was telling Bill, one of the analogies I use as I talk about it, like you can go to New York Comic-Con, and it's like seeing the Eagles perform in a stadium, big, lots of quantity, or you'd rather see the Eagles performing at a small bar and be up close and personal with them and be able to engage with them after their performance. And that's what I felt from everything I'm seeing, and that's what I felt OAX represented, and that's what's going to build its brand, and it's just going to get more momentum because more artists are going to be a part of that, and I'm definitely going to be looking for next year, stuff like that. So that's and this banner, what I got from Sean, again, just reminds me of how I really got to be engaged with them during my visit at Emerald Con, and that's what we all want. That's what we all want as fans and collectors, and so that's why I wanted to show it today. So twofold for that.
Oh, very good. I mean, that was that is true. That the experience at OAX was very much what you're describing, and I think the artist guest felt the same way. So it was good all around. Worked perfect for everybody, and that was the thing. We all walked away happy and with more art in our portfolios, and that was the goal.
I think the only negative I heard was the pizza might have been a little bit better, is all I heard. But I mean, that's. Nobody's there for the pizza, right? They're there for the experience and all that. So
exactly. Well, Jason volunteered to work in the kitchen next year to help them, bake some good pizzas or something. I don't know what his plan was.
Well,
but
if you give him a free entry ticket, I'm sure he'll work the kitchen. Actually, I might join him and I'd do that. But Bill, if you don't mind, we'll chat. I wanted to show pages of artists who attended OAX, and my thought was, if I was going, these are the pages I would have brought to not just have the sign. And we all know that when we bring pages, they're always more engaging. I've told my customers in Hawaii, you can bring a comic book for them to sign, of course, and that's great, and that has a lifespan there. But when you show an art page to the artist that hasn't seen it, especially in how many years, they're just more engaging, and they're more apt to tell you the backstory behind it as well. And that's, again, as collectors, that's what we want to hear. Why he drew it a certain way. I remember artists saying, "Oh, I hate that page. I was rushed," or anything behind the story. So I'm just going to share some pages along the way, talking about some of the artists that were there, and it led to me also listing some pages for sale right before OAX. I was hoping some collectors might want to pick them up and have them signed. And one collector did buy my Dan Jurgens birth page of Tangent Batman title page, and we FedExed it to him. He got it, and he went and got it signed at OAX. So I'm happy to hear about that story.
Cool.
But I'll just segue from Sean Murphy. I remember this is that page I got from Emerald Con. It's Batman Curse of the White Knight, and this is what I got him to do for me. He drew an extra head sketch for me. He signed it, told me all about. And again, he wrote the story too. He didn't just draw it; he wrote it. So that's the kind of thing you kind of want to get from that. I would have brought. I'm lucky to have a Punk Rock Jesus #1 page by him, and it's the first appearance of these two characters from that storyline. I would have brought that with me, and then I would have brought. I'm very lucky to get a Tokyo Ghost #1 page from him as well, and again, first appearance of the main character there also. So these are the things I want. These, like we all brought, but these are something I would have brought to the show to have signed from there. As far as Adam Kubert, I saw how he had like a gallery set up, and how amazing his display was. This is a vertical DPS of the finale page of Weapon X #4, and I actually listed this for sale at the time, $7,995. So I had it for sale. If anybody during the show or after the show feels inclined to still want to pick this up, it's a great representation of Weapon X. It's the final page there, and I threw it up on CAF if somebody wanted to get it before OAX. I would have loved to have Adam tell me the story behind this. I love vertical DPSs on there. So this is one I would have brought to meet him. Jim Murphy. What's that?
He's working bigger than that now on those covers.
Oh,
they're huge.
I saw that. Yeah. This one, Jim Mahfood, he did the Shitty Dark Knight. Sorry to curse, but that's the name of the book. Mm-hmm. And it's their take on the Dark Knight series. I'll never have a Dark Knight page, but I got a page from his book here. And again, he did a little sketch for me and drew it. And that's when I met him at Emerald Con from there. This is one, that chomping picture you had of me in the meme. This is one definitely. I've been waiting to frame this David Finch page. I love the interaction where Batman's just telling him, is that the best you got? And then Bane's just getting angrier. I've been waiting to frame it, but I wanted to get David Finch to sign it. So that's definitely one that sticks, that I couldn't meet him to get him to sign that for me.
You could have got a lot of business done at this show.
Well, that's another thing. I'm definitely going to have an eye for making it, the term in our industry is called bleisure, half business, half leisure, a bleisure trip. And, being able to set up stuff and trade and sell not just feeding our community, but also, to your point, and we've said this before, our art can be our currency, right? So this art that we've had for all these years has built up equity, and we're going to use it for currency for other things. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that the next time. Mike Allred, Mike and Laura were there. This is the page from Madman #1. And that's his first appearance. He was Frank Einstein in the other stories. And this is Madman right there. I love this. I wanted to ask Mike why he does this little thumbnail that I think moves as you turn the pages. You know, when we were kids, we would draw those little figures. So he got this at the bottom of his page there. I would have got engaged with him on that one. I did list this one for sale. It's also Mike and Laura's title page. It's a Vertical Jam title page. So I had that one for sale there. And again, you know, everybody's so inclined after meeting them, still want to get some art from them. I just love the detail they put into this title page. It's Shade, the Changing Man on that one there. This one is the very first cover I remember buying some 25 years ago, and it's by Dan Jurgens, and it's the Justice League with Guy Gardner on it, and Superman and Batman there. And I, you know, again, if I had met him and got him engaged to the story, that's something I would then frame and put on my wall, because every time you walk by, you're not just going to admire their art, but you're going to remember the interaction you had with the artist. And
so do you frame a lot of your stuff?
Beg your pardon?
Do you frame a lot of your collection?
I do frame a good amount in my office and in my home, certain spots. And my wife keeps saying, "Well, how come we don't have pictures of the family? It's all art, all art and art."
If you hold off framing them until they're signed, is that kind of?
Well, you know what I've actually done though, which worked out a couple of times for me. Some of them that I've already got they're already framed, and then the artist comes to Hawaii and whatnot. I'll take it out of the frame and have them sign the matting.
That's good.
And they got a lot more space to work there. So both Tim Sale and Rick Leonardi, they'll use it as a palette and add more to it. And that's a tip I want to give to people as well, that you know, even if you got something framed, have them take the matting with you. Take it out of the frame, but just take the matting with the hinging of the art, so they'll see the art, you'll be engaged, and then they've got that whole space. You know, you usually got 2 or 3 inches of matting to work with.
Jason just wants to buy everything he sees, even if it's a DC artwork. It's like, am I not seeing the prices? Yeah, well, you saw a few prices on these already, Jason. Just not all.
There were. So in this group, as we're chatting, it's just I had some pages I did put up for sale, and then we'll go into the claim sale after that, of course. This one is, it's a title page with Jimmy Palmiotti, and it's the first appearance of the Slingers team on there. And again, with title pages, you get the artists engaged in that and having them sign this. This is definitely like this would become frame worthy for me. I mean, I buy it for how I collect title pages and first appearances, but again, if I got to meet Jimmy and have him sign that, that's again something I would reconsider putting up on my wall. I saw Jeff Isherwood come in and be in the lineup, and this is a Mike Mignola Web of Spider-Man page that Jeff inked. And just getting his thoughts behind the process. I mean, you know, hearing them, you know, stories about how they'll ink. Obviously, at the time he inked it, Mike Mignola wasn't the superstar that he is now, but just hearing about his story behind inking this work from Mike is something that I'd like to hear about. This one was a big pickup for me 3 years ago. Simone, his cover to this with the Two-Face on there, and his use of color palette on here is what I would engage with him about. You know, just what made him choose this aqua blue marine, which happens to be my favorite color as well, versus other colors. And I love that mirror on the wall effect right there as well. So that's something I would ask Simone about, you know, had I been there in person. John K. Snyder III, another, I think a very undervalued painter, artist. And we know that he does a lot of painted work. We may not put him on the same echelon as Simone and Alex Ross and whatnot, but his details and his paints really tell a really good story. I always remind my co-collectors that what I love about painted art is you're getting 2 for the price of 1. The artist has to pencil it out first, and then they're going to paint on it. That's usually the process. I'm sure there's different variations on that, but I'm getting, you know, multiple extensions of the talent of the artists here, and that's why I like collecting painted art even more now. So that was something I would have Snyder talk about bringing it for him. J.G. Jones, never had a chance to meet him. A lot of them don't come out to Hawaii. This is a birth page of Wesley from Wanted #1.
Yeah.
And I heard stories, and I didn't really research it, but I heard that he used Eminem as his focal point for the caricature for Wesley. It kind of shows there. And then same issue, I have the birth page of the Fox, who was in the two in the movies with him, and again, just all the different characters, how he came up with his view on what they would look like. But I heard Eminem was his inspiration for Wesley.
It certainly looked like him. I had a couple pages from Wanted #1, not that early in the issue. I don't have many more, but yes, I've always loved that book.
Yeah. Ken Lashley. And I had this one up for sale. It's a title page. I like the title page. It features the artist in it there. So this one is the first appearance of Pete Wisdom, who's gone on to be a major character now in the X universe. So I had this one. I put this one up for anybody who wanted to engage with Ken. And Ken actually joined our Dueling Dealers show as a viewer that one time. So that was fun to see that. Just a couple more here. I have this one. I have Nick Barucci to thank. We have a lot of us have Nick Barucci to thank for things. But this DPS from Jose Garcia Lopez, and I had this one up for sale for a bit there, and a double page spread of title page of Tarzan there, and it just got that love. Like I love that old feel, that old school feel, that kind of Joe Kubert-esque type. I'm sure that's part of the influences on that.
That's not a Sabretooth on there. That's a Hello Kitty, everybody. Just in case you're paying attention.
My wife, I was asking her, I need Post-it notes. I'm frantically getting ready for the show, and she goes, "That's all I got." I said, "Okay, I'll take him." And the last but not least, I saved this one for last. This is that Marvel DC collaboration, the Treasury Edition, and this is where it's Superman and Spider-Man together. The second time they got together, and on this page, and Bob McLeod was the inker on this page. And so the story is that Bob was actually in Hawaii 2 weeks before OAX. And so I got to meet him. And it's a much smaller setting. So I got to spend a lot of time with him. And he clarified, because this issue had like 5 inkers listed, and he was the one who inked this page. So it was great to meet him on that. And he talked about that process. But one thing that stands out, and this is a testimony to OAX, is that Bob, he had portfolios he brought with him, but just a lot of prints. And he would sign some prints and, get a couple signed, but no real art pages, nothing substantial. And for me as a collector, oh, darn, he didn't really bring any art with him. And then it turns out I saw some stories after OAX where people picked up some really nice title pages from Bob after seeing him at OAX. Mm-hmm. And it stands out. It shows that even the artists are taking a different approach to OAX. They're realizing their audience is a concentrated audience of real collectors. So they're stepping up their game, so to speak, and they're dusting off older pages and bringing them to OAX that he didn't bring with him when he went to Hawaii. So another checkmark testimony to how we all should be going to OAX in order to take advantage of that.
Amen. Yeah. I'm not going to argue with you on that at all, Jordan. Very, very true. It was a good show. It was definitely a good show. We're excited to think about how year 2 is going to go. But
yeah. So, and again, I've said it a couple times now, but when for me being in Hawaii, we all have to travel to any of these cons. You got to make considerations, right? And this year, 2024, we had already penciled in New York Comic Con in October as our big. I go to Emerald Con every year, which is in a week from now. My son lives in Seattle, so I go to that every year to see him and to go and visit from there. And the Emerald Con lineup is not strong, honestly. It's a fun environment. It's a great con, but they don't have the biggest of creators, and I don't go mainly for that. So that's why we had penciled in New York Comic Con in October. So when OAX was announced, and I had to consider what my wife wants to do. My wife wants to go to New York as well, so I had to kind of put OAX on the back burner. And again, live and learn, because I would have had a much more engaged experience had I gone to OAX versus the large quantity stadium environment of New York Comic Con, which I haven't been to, but I'm sure is a big quantity, kind of a big fest from that standpoint.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, our show was built around the idea of hoping, people would bring their spouses and significant others with them. And, that can be prohibitive too. Like, Albert didn't get to go because they wanted to go to Paris and go to Angoulême. So, I mean, that's part of it. So maybe it's not an every year show for some people, but I think it's going to work out well long term. Sure. I mean, I've heard from a lot of people that are, dropping one show out of their regular, set of shows that they go to so they can add OAX to that. And that's flattering, and gratifying at the same time, knowing that, that OAX has that kind of potential after just one show. So yeah, we're gonna have a good time with it. I can't say that's gonna happen. It's a nice.
I did see Jiggy did come out to Hawaii. He delivered a page, and I was thank you again for that, Jiggy. It was so good to meet him. We just a quick passing. I was at a toy fair and selling, and he went out of his way to bring it to me. So thank you for that again. Salamat po, Jiggy. Very much thankful for that. But I was going to ask you, Bill. OAX, your brand is going to be mid-January every year. Is that what we're banking on?
It's definitely going to be, it's the 24th through the 26th next year in January. Okay. There's potential to shift it a little bit, but it's not going to happen in 2025. Just some different things. The hotel's actually they're building a large pavilion by the lake that's in the back there, and so that presents some interesting opportunities to utilize that space. It's almost like 10,000 square feet, but I wouldn't want to risk doing an outdoor event, at the end of January. So maybe at some point we might think about, we could shift it to later in February, maybe. But for next year, guaranteed, the dates are January 24th to 26th.
But if there's wiggle room, but clearly the beginning of the year, each year is what you're targeting.
Yeah. Before the major con season starts. I mean, we wanted to have our show out of the way before April 1st. It had to be, because April 1st through Thanksgiving is pretty much eaten up by so many major cons across the U.S. and globally that there's no way we're going to move into those areas. And we have Comic Art Live in May, so we need to stay away from that as much as we can too. So February 1st was my date because I wanted it to be tied to Cap's anniversary, but I'm not sold on that having to be the absolute date going forward. I think time of year and weather and stuff can play an important role in making sure that we have the best opportune situation for the show. Yeah.
And does it still thunder and lightning at 5 p.m. every day in Orlando?
Not this time of year. That's more of a summer thing, actually. Okay. From late spring until early fall, you can pretty much count on a shower between 4:30 and 6:30 every day.
Clockwork.
For 30 minutes. It will rain.
It was so weird. And we were there for a family trip. You're right, visiting the parks. Mm-hmm. And we finally caught on. And so we said, we got to get our stuff in before 5 o'clock because it's just, you can set your watch to it. It was so weird.
Yeah, no, it's a regular thing around here. I don't understand it. But I don't argue against it either. But yeah, in the wintertime, it's not an issue. But yeah. All right.
Okay. Good. Yes. All right.
So now we can get into it. So like you mentioned, we've got 20 pieces of art to show, and prices will be shown on the slides. We don't have a timer going here, but we're just going to kind of keep a mental, clock in our head, and we'll just move on from piece to piece. And people who ask questions about the pieces that we show. Actually, I'm going to make us go like this so I can fill your screen better. Jordan, do you mind step into the other side? Yeah, you got to center yourself. There we go.
Well, I'll pull up the art pages and put them up at the same time. I know you're going to show them too. But so like I said, I'm not up against a clock. I'm not up against a dueling opponent. So this is a little bit weird for me as well. But I'll just speak to the page, and if somebody wants it, great. And like I mentioned, and just to say again, I wanted value pages because we're all in a little glow after OAX, but we're always kind of looking out for some nice pages here and there. So hopefully that's what today will bring.
I would like to think so. And Nick Verrucci's rallying the likes out there, everybody. Remember, hit the thumbs up. We appreciate it. Okay, cool. Well, let's just, get this thing started here. So let's see, first slide here. So here you go.
Yes. So the first page I wanted to do was just here we go. Just a fun page. I know you had Fred Hembeck on. and so I just kind of in that same vein. It's a parody. It is a title page, and you've got all the ex-con characters in there. And anytime you see Wolverine with his claws out, that's always a nice thing as well. So in this case, it's Tangerine with his candy canes out instead of claws. But anyways, just want to start off with a fun title page. Nice little price point there. So X-Men and title pages there.
So is that one you've had for a while?
Yeah. Had this for quite a bit, actually. I never got around to putting it on calf yet, so figured I'll just put this up for, like I said, a value price.
Now you have bins of art as well, right? Because I know you've been collecting for quite a while. So,
Yeah, let me get here. Yes, I have bins. You're right. That's how I store them, and that's I need to get to this. When you say it like that, I remember getting approached to say, Jordan, I know you got bins. Why don't you just pull some out and we'll have a sale just from that. So my good buddy from the Great White North, he knew I had bins. So when you say that, it kind of triggers something in me. But yes, I have bins of art that, I want to get around to posting it, to share with the community, but also kind of get it listed into my gallery. So I'm going to try and be a little bit more better about that this year, 2024.
Yes, everybody always makes fun of Cyclops. I think he looks fine there. He is getting parried.
Yeah, dumb cuffs or something like that.
Yeah. But of course. All right, let's take a look at the second lot that you brought. What do we got?
Again, just staying value conscious here. It's a title page, and it's from the creators. You got Bob Layton, who did the co-plots, and you've got Dick Giordano on here. And it's a title page from Death Mask #3. Again, just got a value price there for anybody who wants to, having met Bob and now we know he's a fixture on the show as well. If you want to add something to your collection, it's a nice way to get an older title page. Yeah, it's got a little overlay of some of the words on it as well.
And it's got Broderick inks on it.
Yep.
He's a Florida guy as well.
Yep.
Let's see here. What else we got? So lot 3, and that one's signed by. It's not signed by Layton, right? It looks like it's signed by
Giordano.
Okay.
Signed it.
All right, and then Weapon X.
So Weapon X here, and it's just got some great shots of Wolverine, some nice close-ups of him there. And again, I figured a lower price point on this for us who are Wolverines fans. You want to add a close-up of him to your collection there. So is that claim one page or claim this page? Which one is Piano Wizardry asking about?
I'm assuming probably, he's using the claim one Jordan. So
okay. So the ex-cons.
The ex-cons, exactly. Yeah. I think might be a delay on his stream. Anybody who wants to be up to speed with the stream, you can hit that live button in the lower left-hand corner of the screen, or refresh it if you're on your browser. I believe it is Paul. Yes, it is.
Paul.
We got to see Paul at OAX. It was very nice. He had his mask on, and in the mask on it said, "I am Paul Pappas," right across the front of the mask. So it was very fun to get to meet him that way.
Yeah, and Paul's been a big supporter of mine as well. So I'm happy that he kind of picked up something like that.
All right.
Yeah. So this again, just some nice. You got that wry, winking smile of Logan there. So just some nice imagery, and again, a nice price point for this one as well. Woohoo! I made my first sale. Yes. Thank you for breaking the ice.
I had to load up a couple memes for you.
I'm glad you did that, because and that's one thing my wife is very thankful for in this show, that she said, "Do we have to film memes?" I go, "No, we don't have to." She goes, "Okay, fine, thank you." Because it's a holiday, right? We're taking time off from our holiday, but she's very thankful to you, Bill, that I didn't have to film any memes for this show. So.
All right. Well, next time we'll make sure that you have to. But yeah, she's got the night off this time around. But thank you, Paul. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what lot 4 brings us. We got a Batman.
Yep. So it's Batman Second Son, but you got some great action shots of Katana here, and again, pricing it lower to move it. You know, if you just want to add some action pages. I do want to point out it's not on the page, but Travel did a great sketch here at the back, on the back of the page, where she's kind of facing off against her foe there. But again, from the front published side, you got some nice action shots of Katana going on there, and that's kind of why I picked up the page in the first place. So get a good price point on an action page.
Not bad.
Yep.
I like Travel's work.
Yeah, nice clean work. Nice clean work. He doesn't get a lot of credit that he deserves, but yeah, I'm a fan of his too.
All right, let's take a look at lot 5.
This one, you just gotta love. You gotta love that hairdo. You gotta love the Joker's hairdo, and I love the way it spills over into the other panels as well. So it's mainly for that imagery there. So it is an Azrael issue, but if you're a Joker fan or just a fan of some nice imagery there, I'm not even sure what that hairdo is called. Pompadour or something like that, but that definitely caught my eye, and I love his devilish grin on that as well. So just a good price point there for a good Joker page.
Very true. So $2.95 on that. Let me see here. So lot 6, we've got Stormbreaker page. This one's nice.
Yeah, Stormbreaker, Beta Ray Bill, and you've got it all in action too. So you've got Stormbreaker in its own panel right there as well. So it is from issue 3. It's It's called Beta Ray Bill's Stormbreaker Saga, something like that. And Andrew DeVito, and you've got Beta Ray Bill in action and all of that there. So if you're a comic fan, I can't get enough of Beta Ray Bill art. You know, I think he's his time is due. He needs to get a little more love. So anyways, I like that panel right there with Stormbreaker having its own panel.
Yeah, that's very nice. I saw from that last page, the Joker, Mr. Redjack said it was a like Kramer.
Kramer, there you go.
The Kramer hairstyle. CJ
Kramer
said it was the Don King. More Kramer than Don King, though, I think.
Yes. Paul's going to get that one. The Beta Ray Bill. That's number 6.
Yeah. Nice choice, Paul. That's a good one.
Thank you, Paul.
Alpha Ray Bill. Yeah, you never know. It could happen one day, Jeffrey. Hopefully, Simonson has a hand in that. All right. Well, I should play a winning meme, right? I know I've got a few loaded up here. What do we got? Let's see.
Yes, I sold some art.
The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here!
I mean, who doesn't love Muhammad Ali, right?
No, that was a fun show. Remember that was against Anthony. That you guys both brought some serious memes to that one. That was
my favorite meme from that show was the one where I had my daughter, the whole cut me, and she had a packet of ketchup in her hand, and we had like 3 takes on that because it kept coming out onto me, and we finally got that last one right. But that was my favorite as a meme from that show.
I thought about loading that one. That was a messy one. Let's see here. We got lot 7 next, and it's a Bishop page by Tom Duranick.
Yeah, it's Bishop, and it's a great action shot. You gotta love that half splash, and same feel. I love when they break the panel walls there. So you've got Omega Red bursting onto the scene, and he's really just kind of breaking the wall there. Tom Duranick did a good job with that. And what stood out to me is that we always associate Omega Red with Wolverine naturally, but to see this story where he's going up head to head against Bishop, that kind of stood out to me there. And so you've got some nice, I love that middle panel Bishop there, where you just see the contemplation right before they're about to attack each other. But again, Omega Red jumping out is what carries this whole page there at the bottom there. So a good Bishop Omega Red page.
Yeah, if this was a regular Dueling Dealers episode, I mean, I think Anthony would probably call that a 3/4 splash or something. But we're not going to do that.
No. I mean, it is a half splash, right?
It is. Yeah. It extends up into that the middle set of panels for sure.
Yeah.
See, Owen Miller's got that FOMOAX too. So we know it. We understand, Owen. There's a cure for that. It's coming out to OAX 2025.
FOMOAX. FOMOAX.
Yeah,
The FOMOAX. This
exactly.
FOMO.
We're gonna make a set of T-shirts with that
Yeah.
on. Let's
A
see
cure.
here.
So the T-shirt should be for the cure for FOMOAX.
Yes, exactly. It would. Marcus says it would be priced double as well. He's probably. You're probably right, Marcus. All right, so we got lot 8 here, Justice League Task Force page.
Yeah. I actually picked up a nice handful of Ramon Bernardo pages, and if you just take a moment to look at his line work there, it's very dynamic. He does a really good job. I love red lines as well. I love red lines in there. I remember an artist said that he would use it to symbolize smoke or action from there. But what really carries this page for me is that shot of Warlord right there. That's the one that, that's what stood out to make me want to get it in the first place. So really good, a good price and a nice action page here. An older action page with especially if you're a Warlord fan there.
Yep, very nice. So isn't the red more of a DC thing? I mean, at the end of the day, I think they use.
I didn't know I didn't catch that. I didn't realize it was just one company over the other. So
there might be a little bit, but it seems like they used it more in DC than they did in Marvel. I don't know why.
Well, actually, I've had some West Coast Avengers pages with I remember Spider Woman, and there was red line throughout, so it was both companies at that point.
All righty, so $2.95 on this one. We got lot 9 next. That's another Jones piece.
Yeah, so in the spirit of OAX, I wanted to bring something that from J.G. Jones there, and again a great mysterious character, an independent version of Elektra, if you want to put it that way. But just look, I love that side shot right there of she, and just look at the detail that he put in drawing her hair as well. It's a really captivating page at a good price point as well.
Well, and Stephen Crawford feels the same way. I don't blame him. I think that's a really, really nice looking page. And JG is such a nice guy. I mean, absolutely. It was so nice to see him. And, we had that issue with his art that ended up getting found and returned to him. So all was well there. But it was really nice to be able to have him at OAX. He was one of the people that Kazra and I talked about early on. As somebody that we were really hoping he would be able to make it to the show.
Fantastic. And again, I would have loved to meet him for the Wanted page. I actually heard different artists had told me he was here in Hawaii that he had heard that JG is going to stop doing traditional. He's going to do digital from this point on. So I would have asked him about that as well. But this is all the older pages.
I did not hear that, but that would be disappointing, obviously.
Well, I asked Chad Harden about that. So Chad has been digital for a while now, and he was actually in Hawaii. He's an art collector, and he actually came to my booth and wanted to buy some art from me. We had a good conversation about that, and I asked him, well, how the back issue market and us as collectors, we covet more the traditional art. I mean, most of us do. And he just explained that his paycheck is from DC, and he can put out twice the amount of pages digitally than traditionally. So he made that the conscious decision I'm going to do digital to get more of that art, of that work. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you can't begrudge him that, that's his job, right? And I wish he was doing more traditional because we tend to favor that a little bit more, of course.
I get it. I mean, and other artists will say, lets them spend more time with the family and all that too. So I certainly do understand the reason for wanting to speed things up, but they are leaving, some money on the table probably versus doing it that way. Sure. But hey, there's more important things in life than money.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what he was leaning toward as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So lot 10 next. You got a Spidey and Deadpool page.
I'm going to say, raise your hand if you own a Paul Pope page, and if you own a Paul Pope Spider-Man Deadpool page. And the only reason I say that because when I saw this, that's the kind of vibe I got. I got that fun kind of Paul Pope vibe for this one. Obviously, it's not, but it's a great fun page. Spider-Man versus Deadpool, and it's got that Nick Pitara feel to it and that Paul Pope feel to it, and then it's a way to get that type of art at a much better price point than it would be, if it was a Paul Pope page. But that's what drew me to this page. I love the story behind this, how they're helping each other out during this conflict here. And then the details into the cityscape as well. So just a good representation of that.
Yeah, that makes sense. And Paul Pappas has claimed this one. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul. Well, Paul knows he's going to be saving on combined shipping. That goes a long way as well.
Yes, it does. And yeah, I get it, Jason, about if they can do twice as much, it definitely makes sense without question.
Yeah,
And,
that's what he's saying. That's his paycheck.
Yeah, heck yeah. I mean, it's a guarantee at the end of the day. I mean, you could be sitting on the art for a while. All right, so let's take a look at lot 11. So we've got Ariel Olivet.
So it's a full page splash. Really represents this character. It's the first appearance of Vox, so he's becoming a major villain now for the Inhumans. Donnie Cates wrote this. I like to point that out. And Ariel Olivetti did the art on this one, but a nice way to get a full page splash of. It's not the birth page of Vox, but it's really him. Really being his coming out party here and taking over in this issue going forward. So a good way to get a great full flash as well as a historic first appearance page.
Oh, and Shaheen has claimed that one.
Yeah.
Nice to see Shaheen, I put your best of trophy in the mail today.
So, wow, that's awesome. And Shaheen's a big supporter of mine as well. Thank you, Shaheen. Thank you very much. You and Paul and everybody as well, but thank you.
All right. So congrats to Shaheen for that one. So I didn't think that was going to last. I figured everybody was putting an APB out for Matt DiTullio since he's a big Black Bolt fan. So that seemed to be in the chat tonight. He might have jumped all over that one.
Oh, well, somebody always got ahead, certainly. And that's on that note, and that's the thing. We're frenemies, right? And Bill and I were chatting before that. I sincerely love our original art community, our OA community. I mentioned before I've been collecting comics for 40 years and not anything close to having kind of anything fraternal, anything community at all. And so quickly now, and of course we all have you to thank, Bill, for that. But just I love being a part of this OA community, and we are friends at heart. I mean, I've got all these friends that we've made. But then when it comes down to the business side, we're frenemies because we want to get that page before somebody else gets that page, right? So what you mentioned about Matt, he would have probably got that, but here Shaheen comes in and gets it and all that. So that term frenemies comes to play in this case. So
very true.
Remember,
we're in for the art first. If they're if you're going to get the piece you want, then you'll let your friend know what the other pieces are still available from an art drop or something like that.
There you go. Yep.
And that's okay. Let's see here. So we got lot 12 next. I teased it a second ago there, but page by Scotty Young.
Yeah, and then Daniel Way is the writer, and Daniel has Hawaii ties. He has a home here in Hawaii, and he does some community work for us as well. So Daniel Way wrote a lot of Deadpool issues, a lot of Spider-Man issues as well. Hit Monkey, he created that. So he wrote this. And what I like to say is this is Scotty Young's art before he flipped the switch to that more fun, I guess I use the word cartoony style that he uses, and it's no diss to him. He's making a brand off of that. But before that, he had that raw style as well. You can kind of see in those bottom panels, he's kind of starting to veer toward that style as well. But it's a Venom page. It's an early Scotty Young page as well. So, a good price point for some early Scotty Young artwork.
Yep, from Venom 17, 2004. Gosh, 20 years ago.
Yep.
I mean, it's funny. I remember meeting Scotty at shows around that period too, and you could tell he was going in an interesting direction with like his con sketches at that time. Mm-hmm. So, that's I really like his style today.
Yeah, his early work, it was. I love some of his X-Men work, and you could just see it start to morph. Like I mentioned, those panels, you can see him wanting to get more toward that, and now he's created his own niche and his own brand, and more power to him for that.
Mm-hmm. Very true. Let's see here. Lot 13. You got a piece by Liam Sharp.
Yeah. When do you ever see Man-Thing and Namor together on a page in a story? I remember seeing that. It's like, I didn't even know they really existed, but that's what's going on here. You got the two. Got that great Jay Lee type style going on here. It's a bit of a larger page. I'm going to say it's more 12 by 19 versus 11 by 17. There's a panel inset here at the bottom, but it's all original art on the panel, and I think it's just covering up a different flow underneath of it. But Liam Sharp, he draws on bigger art pages. But again, just to see Man Thing and Namor together, I don't know. It just seems like two different universes to me. But,
yeah, there's not going to be too many panels out there in Marvel where you're going to get both characters in it. So that, yeah, I guess that's just on the scan. Then it looks like it, because it looks like almost like it's a stat, but it's not. It's an original paste up.
Yeah, so it's original art on it that he
Yep.
just kind of covered up something else with.
Sure. Okay. Nope. Yeah, no, that's, yeah, the scan's just a little bright on that one, Jeffrey, but all original. Okay, cool. Oh, very nice. And this is 90s Liam Sharp art too. So
Yep.
there you have it. Let's see here. So lot 14. We have a page by Sonny Trinidad.
Yeah, I wanted to bring an older page, an older Bronze Age page, and this one fits the bill, 1975. It's historic. It's the origin and second appearance of Ulysses Bloodstone, right? Who's the father of Elsa Bloodstone. And you've got, I just love that, that Conan type panel down here on this side here. Sorry. I need my Post-it notes, that panel there. But it's truly got that old Bronze Age feel to it as well. And it's telling the origin of Ulysses. So you've got, it's historic, and it's also appealing for being such an older page too, 1975.
Right. Well, very nice. Let me see here. Yeah, we don't have the Alfredo's trying to do the rank thing. I don't use that same chat bot anymore, so ranking doesn't work at the moment. I'm looking into different ones to bring that back, because I know everybody had a good time with that in the past. Let's see, lot 15, and
so I got a couple covers here. Yep. So this is from Alex. I met Alex Sanchez, and I'm very fortunate. He'll reach out to me and he'll finish a project and says, "Jordan, you want to pick up this cover?" So I'm fortunate to get a lot of work from him. So I got an overlay on it to kind of display the fact that it is a cover. So when you peel back the overlay, you can see the artwork there. But I just love this, that lightning bolt strike. That's Godzilla, right? That's his mouth shooting out the lightning bolt, and you got the Power Rangers that are climbing on his scales. And as we know, his scales will start to charge up and power up before he shoots out his lightning bolt, I guess I'll call it. So that's what's going on here. You got a lot of rain effect going on as well, and it's got a lot of detail. For a fun franchise, Godzilla, Power Rangers, this has got a lot of action going on with it. And again, it is a cover, so you can pick up a cover at a really good price point here. Something less than $1,000. I think I'm at $795 for that as well.
yeah, that is an interesting pairing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have like a prelim that was done for Power Rangers and the X-Men, from the 90s. I thought that would have been kind of crazy too, but this is equally crazy.
Well, and this is volume 2. So they've done volume 1, 6 issues, and now they're on volume 2 right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so we have something about Mark Brooks.
Yeah, Mark Brooks, another cover. So if you want Mark Brooks art, and this is a cover for Ultraman. And again, I had the overlay made so that it features well, but you got all the original art here underneath that, and just Mark Brooks styling from there. A lot of detail into those characters. I don't know too much about the Ultraman universe, but I know he's a fixture. He's one of those pop culture icons as well. So here's a good way to get a cover, and a cover by Mark Brooks as well. So $8.95 for that one there.
Not bad. Let's see. We got 4 more to go.
Yeah.
So lot 17 is next. Tom Greinberg art.
Yeah, I love Silver Surfer page. I think like most of us, and I always cringe when I always want to try and bring different things to the show. So I want to bring title pages, first appearance pages. I want to bring cosmic pages as well. So I decided to put this one up here, this Tom Greinberg Silver Surfer. And it has everything you want in the Silver Surfer page. It's got Silver Surfer on his board there flying in action. And it's actually Silver Surfer and the War Machine together in this story. But what really kind of did it for me was that one right there. When do you ever really see Silver Surfer flexing his muscle? And I know it's a different take on him, and I get it. Tom Greinberg did that. but it kind of works to me, and we've always seen him as that sleek silver cosmic Avenger kind of a thing, but that stood out to me when I saw that. And again, like I said, you got the surfer on his board there, so you got everything you want in the Silver Surfer page here.
Yeah, it's nice, and you get some Kirby crackle when he's flexing his muscle too, I think.
I love it when they break the wall. So he's kind of breaking through the wall with that action page. It kind of adds to it, definitely.
Hey, a question on those last two covers. Matt Bulmer wanted to know, who do you use for overlays?
James Pasco. I've mentioned that he does great work, and being an artist, he knows his craft, and I'm always very happy with his work.
All right, there you have it, Matt. James is on CAF, so pretty easy to look him up. Last name's Pasco.
Yeah, and he did all those. He did those art for Batman issues way back when.
Let's see. So we got 18 here. So an Extreme X-Men page.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll do overlays for title pages and covers, because then, like I said, it helps me or give the feature what's going on. So this is a title page. It is page 1 from Extreme X-Men #1. So it's the very first issue of the Extreme X-Men series, and I'll pull back the overlay. But what this is the birth page of a major villain here. So it's Vargas right there in the middle, and that's his 2 henchmen, his 2 bodyguards with him as well. So it's the birth page of Vargas, who's been in many X-Men issues from especially Extreme X-Men, and it's Salvador LaRocca, who does great line work from there as well. So again, it's historic, a way to get the very first appearance ever of this X-Men villain. And again, less than 1,000 for this to start out with. So it's a great historic page. I like the way it presents itself as well.
That's right. And yep, Jeffrey mentions the colors were done over Salvador's pencils for those issues. Yep, that is very true. There's no ink. They were all colored right from that.
Oh, even better. So again, I'll do overlays for title pages and covers in order to get the the framing of what those pages represent, and that's what I like to do.
All right, so we got two more to go, and these are the ones that are not $1,000. These are anything go pieces, everybody. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah. So just fun.
Yes, John Byrne page next, and then an Art Adams. So just be ready.
John Byrne, Art Adams. Right.
The first one, though, it's a what do we got? It's a Batman
Adventures Annual #1, and it's historic because it's the 3rd appearance of Harlequin, but it's the first appearance of Dr. Harleen Quinzel, and that's her right there in the middle panel right there. And when do you see John Byrne drawing Harlequin and Joker? I mean, we're so used to him, obviously, for what he's known for X-Men and whatnot, but that stood out. That it's kind of rare for a John Byrne's page. I'm doing time payments on this one too. So if you want to break it up to make it easier, it's a way to get not just a John Byrne page, but a piece of history as well. So the 3rd appearance of Harlequin and the 1st appearance of Dr. Harleen Quinzel, you can break it up, and it's $12.49 each if you want to do it that way. So it's a nice way to break up the payment on such a historic page.
That is very nice, and interesting, to see John draw in that style, right?
Yeah. You would not. I can tell you this: if you put that up without the issue number, I don't think any of us would guess that was John Byrne either. No, you see the Bruce Timm influence there. You see other influences, but I definitely don't see John Byrne there. And to me, that's a good thing. It kind of stands out even more, makes it even more attractive and collectible.
That is true. So last but not least. Like I mentioned, it's an Art Adams page, and it's an Uncanny X-Men Annual 14.
Yeah. So this one hurts to let go of, or even put up for sale. But Nick Barucci even mentioned if you want to get a Grail, if you got to sometimes sell Grails in order to get to another Grail that you covet more, and that's what I'm doing. I'm actually trying to get paid off a different Grail. But again, I'm breaking this one up. If you want to do 8 installment payments on this, I'm trying to make it easy, because that's kind of how I buy art too. I buy it on time payments, and it's not. I realize it's not the most value priced of pages, and I feel this is a good price for it. It's not a great low price, and it's not an over the top expensive price either. I feel it's a really good price for it. And again, if you want to do the time payments, breaks it up, it doesn't hurt as much, but you'll get a piece of history, in your collection. You know what I mean? I mean, Gambit, he's a major character, and as we know the story goes, this issue actually hit the newsstands before Uncanny X-Men 266, and so that's why even the grading companies recognize it as the first appearance of Gambit. And if you were to go down even further into the issue, there's only 5 pages with Gambit on it. And this page has Gambit up in the top panel up here, there, and then also in the bottom panel as well. You got a shot of him right there as well. But then look at the Art Adams styling on this one, and all the different characters that he's drawn into this page as well. So it's Art Adams art, it's X-Men annual art, and it's historic. I mean, Gambit is as big as they come. So it's a way to get a piece of history, and breaking up into, like I said, eight time payments. It makes it easier to sell other art along the way in order to make these payments. But you can add a historic first appearance page of a major character to your collection. I've had this. I got this from Mike Berkey, I'm going to say like 20 years ago, and I've loved it in my collection. And I know it's not a cheap piece, but for Art Adams and historic, I think it's right in that ballpark where it needs to be at. But again, if you can break it up, it makes it easier to acquire.
There you have it. If I would have seen that at Berkey's house 20 years ago, I would have bought it myself. Yes, exactly. And I was friends with him back then. He probably still is sitting on stuff from 20 years ago that he's forgotten that he's had, but clearly not that one.
So I see how ML has one of the pages from the issue, and I think Mike Zatari has a page or so from these issues. And like I said, there's only 4 or 5 of them out there. So, Gambit, I'm a big fan of his. So it's just something where I'm trying to get to a different grail that I covered a little bit more than this one.
Understandable. All right. Well, we can do a recap now, can't we? We're under an hour. This is
sure.
Time flies on Art Drops. I could have played a few other winning memes. I guess I left a few things out, but that's how these go. They go a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's see here. What do we got? If we're going to recap, I know the first piece sold to Paul, so I can show off that second one. That was the Leighton Death Mask page.
Yeah. It's already low priced. I mean, I had it at $175. I mean, if I'll go to $95. And again, I know it's not the most dynamic of images, but it is Bob Layton and Dick Giordano, and Dick signed it on the bottom there as well. So if somebody wants to just kind of add, a piece to their collection from these, and David McElhinney is the one who wrote it. If you want to add a piece to your collection, $95. I think is a good way to go with this.
All right. So Porter's Hide says he'll take it for $95. All right.
There you go.
Porter's knows a deal when he sees one.
There
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's see. Time flies when there's no cake break, says Brian Bailey. Yeah, sorry. No one was baking at either of our homes tonight. Let's see here. So lot 3, that was the Genty Weapon X.
Yeah, the Weapon X. This one, I guess I'll do 165 on this. I'll come down. I mean, you've got 3 images of Wolverine in here, a nice close-up in there. So 165 if you want to add this to your collection.
So that's 165 on lot 3, the Weapon X by Genty. And let's see, I'm going to take that line off. JM Mills is offering you $16,000 for the X-Men Annual 14.
Yeah, I'm gonna thank you though. I mean, I know it's a big ticket, and I'm gonna pass on that offer for now. And it's one of those where I want to sell to get to my other grail, and if it's not meant to be, I might turn to some other pieces to go with that. But I will respectfully decline that offer, JM. Thank you though.
Yeah, thank you, JM. All right, so we had lot 3 at 165. We'll take a look at lot 4. That was the Travel Foreman.
Yeah. So let's come down to 125 on this one here. 125. Like I said, it's an action page of Katana, and it's got some really nice sketching on the back there where she's confronting her villain in the story. So 125 we'll do on this Katana action page.
All right. 125 on lot 4. We got lot 5 next. That was the Kramer hairstyle for the Joker.
The Kramer hairstyle. Let's come down to 245 on this one. 245 for the Joker Kramer hairstyle. I mean, if you're a Joker fan, you gotta love that shot. If you're a Seinfeld fan, you gotta love that shot as well. But 245. You want to pick this one up here.
All right. So 245 on lot 5. And lot 6 was sold to Paul. So
Yes.
let's take a look at lot 7 next. And that was the Duranic Bishop page.
Yeah. This one being X-Men and Omega Red, I'll come down to 275 on this one. 275 if you want an action page, if you want Omega Red jumping off the page at you there. I really like that Bishop panel right there. I like that one the most. But again, it is an action Omega Red page. So we'll go down to 275 if somebody wants to get this one.
All right. That's lot 7 for those of you keeping track at home. Let's see. We got lot 8 next. Let me highlight that one. That was
lot 8.
Yep. Task
Let's come down to, I know because he's not the most well-known of art. Let's come down to 195 on this one. 195 for Ramon Bernard. Again, I love that shot of Warlord in action right there. It really kind of carries the whole page right there. But it is a Justice League Task Force page. And so 195 for this one.
All righty. That was lot 8. Now 9, 10, and 11 all have sold. So we'll jump ahead to lot 12. That was a Scotty Young page.
Scotty Young, yes. Let's come down to 445 on this one. 445 for older Scotty Young, pre new style. I don't want to. I'm not trying to diss him by saying pre-cartoony style, but this is his older style of art. So for an older Scotty Young page, Venom issue, 445.
Okay, so 445 on lot 12. And what do we got? The Liam Sharp all art Man-Thing page with Subby.
The Neighbor Man-Thing page. Let's come down to 495 on this one. 495, and again, just for the fact that Namor and Man-Thing are together in the story, let alone on the same page. So 495 for this one.
And that one was a little oversized, I think.
Yeah, 12 by 19. He draws on lots of pages.
Yeah. No, he still does today, I think. I remember Albert always is like, Liam needs to draw smaller because his portfolios are too heavy to carry around to shows. He's but it is a very nice page. All right, so 495.
Very intricate detail. If you look at that bottom half there, just what story is playing out. I love the imagery in that one.
No, it's beautiful. I love Liam's work.
Yeah.
All right, so then we've got lot 14 next, and here that one. That's the Sunny Trinidad. Sunny
Trinidad. So it's the second appearance of Ulysses and the origin of him. So let's come down to 595. We'll go 595 on this one here. It's an older Bronze Age page. It's an origin page, and again, it's Ulysses' second appearance, the father of Elsa Bloodstone. So as Elsa gets more and more popular, you got to figure Ulysses is going to come along with that as well.
All righty, so 595 on that one. And lot 15 next. That was the Godzilla versus Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Godzilla versus Mighty Morphin. Let's come down to 645 on this one. So 645 for a published cover, and then again, these are pop culture icons here, both Godzilla and Power Rangers. And again, they're not the biggest of heroes and biggest of characters. I get that they're more pop culture characters, but you know the artistry in this is really dynamic. He's really got them, a lot of detail into what's going on there, and I love the rain effect and the crackling of the lightning effect there too. So to get a cover at 645, that's a good price point for a cover.
Okay, no, I like it. It's so 645 on that one. And we have the Mark Brooks cover next.
Mark Brooks Ultraman cover. Let's do 745 on this one. Let's come down on this one as well. So again, this is Ultraman, 2003. So we're over 20 years old on this one. It's got a lot of great art line work from Mark Brooks on this, and another pop culture iconic character. And again, a cover at 745. I think is a pretty good price point on a cover, certainly.
No, definitely. And if it was colored by Mark Brooks, it'd be a bit more than that. He's always
sure.
a man. Let's see here. So next up is lot 17.
So Silver Surfer Arts, $9.95. I'll keep going with it. Let's go to 845. Let's keep going with that theme. So 845 to get a dynamic cosmic Silver Surfer page. And again, I love that spot there where he's flexing his muscle, kind of breaking forward there. But Silver Surfer pages when he's on his board, and you got the action, cosmic action from there. Hard to keep in, and so 845 I think is a good price point on this.
No, I agree that when he's flexing like that, we call that the James Siegel.
Yes, there you go. I like that.
Let's see here. Lot 18 is next, so we've got the LaRocca page.
So the birth page of Vargas and his henchmen, they're Theus and Thees, but it's more so about the villain right there, Vargas. They're from $9.95. Let's come down to $7.95 on this one. So it's a historic page. And this is Extreme X-Men #1, page 1. So it's the start of that whole run as well. But again, some great Salvador LaRocca art and a historic page as well. So we'll come down to $7.95 on this one.
All right, $7.95 on 18. So then we got two more to go here. We got the John Byrne Batman Adventure.
Byrne. Oh, I was tempted on this one. Okay, we can do. I can do $1,000 off. We'll go to $39.95. $39.95 for John Byrne art. First appearance of Dr. Harleen Quinzel. Third appearance of Harlequin. 1994, 30 years old. So yeah, $39.95, and you can do time payments. You can break it up into 4 payments from there to make it even easier. So that's going to be, that's going to be less than $1,000 a payment in that range. I don't have my math in front of me, but yeah, 4 payments if you want to do it. $39.95 to get a great, like I said, an unusual John Byrne page, not just a historic John Byrne page.
I agree with you on the unusual part. Yeah, you're not going to see him do that too often. So one last page here. That was the Art Adams one.
Yeah. So that one. Yeah. I mean, I can go to $27.95. I mean, $27,995, and if you divide that by 8, you're looking at $34.99 in a payment. So it's a way to get into a historic page. So $3,499 a payment, 8 in payments to kind of spread it out from there. But yeah, $27,995. Again, there's only 5 gamut pages there, and for him to be a first appearance page, and again, it's Art Adams too. So I love the imagery of the Art Adams page as well.
All right, so $27,995 on lot 20.
Yes.
All right, well there you have it, everybody. Now we knew, Carlos, we had 2 wild cards in the bunch tonight. That's all right. What was I going to say? Oh, so obviously you're seeking a grail. I mean, I assume you have some things up in your CAF classifieds that people could browse after the show.
Sure.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. Even in my classifieds, I have the birth page of Ronin in there. Mm-hmm. I actually put the birth page of Jackie Estacado, The Darkness, which is by Michael Turner. These are pages I would not have thought of selling. I have a title page by Kevin McGuire in there as well, very detailed. I put up the first appearance of Godzilla page as well. So I'm just kind of, putting it out there. And I think at some point, if I exhaust my Grail pages, I'm going to have to come back and visit these as well. But, if those ones don't hit, I understand. They're not cheap pages. I get that. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of don't want to send them to auction. I'd rather just kind of do like we're doing here. And because doing it this way, it's easier for us buyers. We can do time payments on. So the person that I'm getting my Grail from is super, super flexible with me. He's a wonderful ambassador of our art. Nick Marucci, and so he's letting me pay off my Grail with him for the next, I don't know, 8 months as well. And so if I can offer that same flexibility to somebody to pick up a Grail for their collection and help me get to my Grail, it's a nice cycle to go from there. So if these don't hit, I understand, and you know, I'll keep trying for some other pages along the way. But to your point, Bill, if anybody wants to visit my gallery, if you visit my my first folder is what's for sale lately. I've got some bigger pieces in there as well. Always open to offers, you know, if it makes sense, of course. And I'm just gonna keep adding to it along the way. And you know, I've been fortunate to collect some of these early on. So now, like we mentioned, we're going to use those currency going forward.
Definitely, yeah. And I linked the your classifieds in the
so
anybody who's interested can hop over there and just see all. I think you've got like 88 pieces in your classified. So
yeah,
there you go with the new ones, like you mentioned, the Allred's in there, the Kubert, the Lashley, and a few others.
And so for those who know me, I collect first appearances first and foremost. So it's hard to even put them up for sale. I mean, we've had them for so long. We covered them as part of our collection. And so that's why, you know, if this one doesn't work for other people, I'll look to some others and see if that works. But I did. So here, one final story, which is again a testament to you, Bill, was on Thanksgiving when I was on your show, and it was a thank you show, and we were just talking, and I was just showing pages that I was thankful for getting for the whole year, ending off with that first appearance of Ra's al Ghul that I got from Dino in Batman 232 as a major grail for my collection. But somebody watched that show, and I didn't even post it into my gallery, but I used to own a Golden Age Detective Comics 78 page with Batman, Joker, and Robin and the Batmobile on it, drawn by Jerry Robinson. But I didn't even have it in my gallery. He just was watching the show, and timing is everything. He just shot me an offer like 2 weeks ago, and I would have given it the time of day, but because I'm trying to get to a grail that I covet more with Nick Marucci, we made a deal. So again, and then I think a couple of people said that it's the circle of grail. I like that one. But just how we perpetuate the hobby with each other. And again, I didn't post it. I didn't throw it in an auction. And he's doing time payments too. He's doing 8 time payments, just like I offered today. And it coincides with me trying to pay off what I'm getting my other grail. So I'm looking forward to getting that and unveiling it for all of us to share. And Nick and I have talked about some ideas of how we're going to make that happen too. Probably on his show, on his Friday show.
Yeah, Fish said you just sell them your Zach Spidey Craven cover and you're done raising the money.
I thought about this show. I was searching through my grails, so I pulled out my page from Secret Wars and my Craven's Lost Hunt page, and then this one. I've had a couple people ask me about this Gambit page, so I just kind of figured let me put this up and just see how that works. So we'll see how it goes. And if a sale happens after the show, Bill, you and I'll keep in touch with you, and we'll make sure everything's all right.
But yeah, definitely check out Jordan's classifieds if you haven't already. Everybody knows how it is when you're striving to reach a goal to pick up something that's important to you. Yeah. So well, good luck with that, Jordan. I'm sure if you get it, let us know.
Certainly. But thank you to everybody. Thank you for Paul, Shaheen, Stephen, for always supporting me like you do. And
Portiside got that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, definitely goes a long way. So thank you, everybody, for your time. It's a holiday. Thank you for tuning in, and I'm sure we'll see each other again.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks. I'll see everybody tomorrow night on the channel.